The ARD air pump pulls air from here. It's pulling filtered air. It's compressing the air and pushing it through a one-way reed valve. The one-way reed valve So the reed valve will only open up, and then when you try to push it down, it's going to prevent the exhaust pressure from pushing back into the ARD pump. So this is just a one-way reed valve, and then here is where you would have a hose that connects to your ARD head. So the ARD air comes in here and is pushed through this restrictor. This is where the gauze sits. Inside, you have your temperature sensor there. Then you have two injectors. It's difficult to see, but you have one injector here and then one injector below. To get a better look at the injectors, this is fuel returning to the tank. So the top injector
not hard.
Goes into the top here, which goes into the mesh. The bottom injector injects here and then goes this way, and then this connects to the can here. Then in this section you're going to have your DOC. This section you're going to have your DPF. And then connected here is going to be a baffle for sound, one last temp sensor, and exhaust goes out here. Alright, so the oil, the antifreeze is coming from here. It's going, it's crisscrossing up and down. And then the coolant leaves here, goes back into the block. Now the exhaust comes from right here. The exhaust comes from the back. It circulates through the cooler, and then the cool exhaust goes up this tube here, where the actuator will open or close. Now it'll only open or close once you're above 1200 RPM, and once you get to 80% of total load, it's going to close the EGR and not allow any more air into the intake. As far as the ARD head, the ARD, glow plug is here. The temperature sensor is here. The fuel leaving the ARD head and going back to tank is here. The fuel going into the ARD is here. And this works in two separate stages. So the first stage is that the glow plug turns on and injects oil or diesel into the mesh, and it has to get above 250 degrees. Once it's above 250 degrees, then the secondary stream injection, or the second solenoid, is powered, and that allows the dosing of the diesel fuel into the elbow here. So the doses come from the lower solenoid, and it's going to inject the raw diesel fuel into here, and then it's going to plate the DOC, which is in the front section. After the DOC, you have a temperature sensor. So this is pre-DOC, this is post-DOC, and this is post-DTF. DPF. And again, this is the 404F.